Here with our special guest from the musical Ragtime. This production that's going on the first week of February, the beginning of African American History Month, and we encourage you guys to come on out and support this great production. It's a big cast, a lot of young folks. It's all mixed. Everybody's all thrown in there on the stage together. It's a Tony Award-winning play. It has been getting kudos all over America and the world. So we want to encourage you guys to come on out and support us in this show. And we have, we're pleased to have our guest, the director and a member of the cast, Mr. Booker T, and I as well. I think I'm the black attorney in this play, and as well as playing different parts, other parts in the production. So before we went on break, we were talking about the importance of theater and the impact it has on our community, and how we can help the city of Wilmington in general, being as though we have a whole lot of issues there. One way to solve those issues is through theater, and Jeff was sharing with us, he reminded me that we have a lot of theater places in Wilmington, like the Cultural Arts Center. And
the Christina Cultural Arts Center is right there on Market Street. They do some powerful, amazing work, from dance to the arts, to the fine, to the visual. Not only Christina Arts Center, but I love the fact that the city of Wilmington has its own ambassadors, and they're little people through the Wilmington Children's Chorus, and I think that's amazing. Mm-hmm. I'm a huge believer in the arts in Delaware, but Wilmington itself has more arts organizations than most cities of its size. Wow. Between the Wilmington Drama League, the Delaware Children's Theater, the Christina Cultural Arts Center, Delaware Theater Company, the Grand Opera House, the DuPont Theater. I mean, we have an awful lot going on, and the ballet. You know, we've got the Opera Delaware right there, City Theater Company. Yeah. Everybody's doing a lot of unique, great work, and those are just the performing arts that we're naming. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of visual arts. There's a lot of fine arts right there in the city as well. So I'm, you know, as a product of growing up in the children's theater, the Delaware Children's Theater, I'm a huge believer that the arts teaches kids and teens some key life lessons. Mm-hmm. Let's say, you know, public speaking. Mm-hmm. Improve self-esteem. Mm-hmm. Those are the things that our kids and teens throughout our city, you know, really need to, you know, to help build them up on.
And so. It's well known in the education and the educator communities that arts also help students in the academic performance. Mm-hmm. So you're talking about reading scripts and things like that. That's English language. When you're talking about music, that's math and that's fractions. So the arts are a real vehicle to developing an entire being, an entire person. And when you're talking about children growing up, I mean, what more? I mean, that's exactly what child rearing is about. It's about developing a young human being. So I think the arts is a great opportunity to do that, and I just encourage all the people out there, you know, if there's a young person in your life, to encourage them to get involved in one of these arts organizations here in the city. If you think you know, they've just got too much energy and you don't know what to do with them, they'd probably be great on stage, you know, to bring all of that and to really share that energy in a positive and constructive way.
Yeah, and parents should really look at the Wilmington Drama League for classes for their kids. They do scholarshiping as well. The Christina Cultural Arts Center, Delaware Children's Theater. Those are three great organizations where kids and teens who are maybe interested, you know, they look at the television, they see a star, and they're like, mm-hmm. I want to do that, Mommy. Yeah. So there's a real opportunity there. And I have to say, whether you love or hate Mayor Baker, you got to love the fact that he was a huge supporter of the arts. He actually came to many of my shows that I have directed and put on, and to see the mayor of your city coming in and supporting the arts in that fashion, I think is great. And I can only say to the new mayor, I certainly hope that we see as equal, if not more improved, support of the arts across the board for our city, because the arts are going to really keep our city alive, in my opinion.
Absolutely, I agree 100%. I happen to know that Mr. Mayor Baker wrote a book on jazz. I believe he's a jazz musician as well, and so we certainly appreciate his support. And as you said, we hope that the new mayor, and I'm sure that he does, actually, I talked to Mayor Williams, and I know he's involved in the arts as well.
Great.
Tell me, what is the cost of enrolling a kid into the theater?
You know, if somebody wanted to do, well, be in a show, there is no cost. You know, you could go to the Wilmington Drama League and audition to be in a show, and you know, it's just like trying out for a sport. Yeah, it's trying out for a sport. So you either make it or you get cut. You know, if you're good enough, you get in the show. If you're not good enough, then that's where you need to really start developing those skills. So you could take a 6-week, 10-week class for $150, a 2-hour class every, Saturday morning. The other thing is, if you can't afford it, a lot of these theater organizations offer scholarshiping, which is great. And the other place to look at is the library. Huge resource. We forget about the library because we have the internet, but the reality is the library is a huge resource, and I teach free classes at the library, both in acting and helping prepare resumes and all kinds of different classes. So it's that's a resource that we certainly want your viewers to be aware of as well.
So there's a lot of free resources available for young folks and older folks, for all folks to get involved in theater.
You're never too old.
Never too old to learn, and I guess I'm a testament to that one, for one. But the important thing is that it's not a big cost in establishing, all of these attributes that you just named earlier in a young child's mind, getting out there and intermingling with different people and learning new things. And you can take that all over. The knowledge is power. And that's something you can take all over the world. Speaking in public, dancing and singing, the whole theater just goes without saying. And it's all free of charge. Well, some have costs.
Some have costs, but there are definitely free programs out there.
And so it doesn't get any better than that in my mind. That's for sure. I also know that you can get on the internet nowadays. The kids right on their cell phones get on the internet and pick up some free courses as well.
And there's a lot of casting happening on the internet. There's a lot. Philadelphia is, a mecca for the film and television world. So for those viewers out there who are, God, I wish I could get on that TV show. There are some great casting people, like Diane Heary Casting is a huge casting company in Philadelphia. Now, what Diane does, you've heard probably the old bring your headshot and resume. You probably heard that before. Well, that's really we're moving away from that concept of bringing your headshot and resume around, because now what casting people are saying, hey, take a picture of yourself using your phone, because you have a camera in your phone now. Take a picture and email us your picture right up there to Philadelphia to be in one of the movies that are being shot there now, or a television show. So they're bypassing that traditional. So the way theater has been in the past is really changing now. It's becoming a digital art form, which is kind of nifty, I think.
Wow. And for an example, how many jobs are involved in theater? Like, I know you have the director, the casting directors.
Well, there's the list, there's the what I'll call the above the line and below the line. So we've got all of our, our actors, and, in this case, we've got about 50 actors on stage. Now, to wrangle all those actors, we've got the director, we have an assistant director, we have our production manager, we have a stage manager, we have a light designer, set designer, prop mistress.
Wow.
The prop mistress is the one that handles everything. So, if I needed to pick up this book, this would be considered a prop. A prop is anything an actor carries on and off the stage. Then we have set dressing. So, you have a person who handles all of the set dressing. How does the stage look? And then you have the scenic designer, the person who paints the set. You have the set builder. So it's kind of crazy.
But a lot of people to go on.
The list goes on and on. And we are actually at Wilmington Drama League, which I got to applaud Wilmington Drama League. They are one of the very few theaters that still does live music. So we have a 16-piece orchestra who is going to be on stage performing with the actors, and I think you got to applaud that.
The actors in Ragtime.
Yeah, the actors in Ragtime. Yeah. So we'll have a 16-piece orchestra behind you guys, playing right along with you. So
how many scores? How many songs are?
Oh gosh. There's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a big musical. It is actually the most beautiful American musical ever written from a musical score, in my humble opinion. But there's a lot of beautiful music from the Getting Ready Rag, which is an upbeat, fast dance number, to the slower, somewhere in the city, which is not so slow. That's definitely fast.
Yeah, the new music.
There's a bunch. There's a bunch. The show moves at a great pace. You will not get bored in the audience because there's so much going on with each individual character. I think there's a ton going on, and they're engaging and
Absolutely.
truthful.
You said you had, I think you said something like a 52 member cast, and then you have the orchestra
Another 16,
back there, and then you have the behind the scenes.
Probably 20 people behind the
scenes.
A lot of people involved.
How are we going to fit?
You know what I mean? But I'm curious, are any of these people getting paid?
No, not. It's a volunteer organization, and that's what you got to applaud as well. Here are all of these amazing actors coming onto a stage to perform. You've got an entire production team that is all volunteer. So as a not-for-profit organization right there in the heart of the city, here we are trying to bring quality production so that our audience have an exceptional theatrical experience. Yeah. Ultimately, it's about the audience. We want to make sure they have an amazing performance. But yeah, nobody's paid. And those donations that you're talking about, so if there's a business out there that says, I want to reach a few thousand people, buy an ad in the playbill. It's a great way. You're supporting the arts. You're supporting Wilmington. You're supporting kids and teens in Wilmington. I mean, it's a multiplier. You're helping a lot of people.
That's right. So you can advertise in our program. The website and the phone number to call is on the screen there, and we certainly appreciate all your help in that direction. You're helping a lot of young people, as we said, they're getting knowledge that's beyond knowledge of basic education. It helps them with the academics as well. It's proven fact that those involved in the arts, they go a lot further. They stay more attention, their focus is more attention on the schools and in the academic life. It makes them want to go on to college, and how we try to push that education in our society. Wilmington being, we have a 60% high school dropout rate in the city of Wilmington.
It's not good. We need to fix that.
And I think they took the arts out of schools.
A lot of schools did, sadly, because it's an easy thing to say. It's a line item issue. So you've got this budget list. You look at all these things. Well, you can't take away English. Right. You can't take away history. You can't take away science and math. The arts, physical education. Well, okay, in 1999, the CDC says we're going to have an obesity epidemic in the United States. Well, people scoffed at that. But guess what? We have an obesity epidemic, and then a lot of schools eliminated their physical education. Right. Well, to your point, if we start eliminating the arts, we're going to have a major epidemic in as far as kids and teens not even having the knowledge or the know-how how to have a conversation with people eventually. So we've got to bring sports, physicality back into school along with the arts. There has to be a balance between education, sports, and the arts.
Absolutely. So, we're advocating that big time, as well as changing the law that allows them to quit in the first place. We've been working diligently in that area as well. And Al, you have the schedule for the production schedule. We're going to read off the production schedule real quick.
I have
the first week in February
listed here, and the show runs the 1st through the 10th in February, and performances on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So Friday night performances are at 8 p.m. as well as Saturday and Thursday performances, and then on Sundays the performances at 2 p.m. So Friday at 8 p.m. the first, second, Saturday at 8 p.m. and then Sunday the 3rd at 2 p.m. and then Thursday the 7th, Friday the 8th, and Saturday the 9th at 8 p.m. And then the final performance on Sunday, February 10th, is going to be at 2 p.m. So please come out and support us. We've been working very hard to put on a production that is worthy of your time and attention as well as your money. But I think you'll enjoy it.
And the cost is, very reasonable as far as being able to purchase a ticket. Again, it's a multiplier, so you're paying $15 or $20 to buy a ticket, but you hear all those names that were working for free to be able to bring arts and keep the arts alive in Delaware, and especially Wilmington, because I truly believe Wilmington should be the mecca for the arts. We can beat out New York City, in my humble opinion. We have the talent and we have the know-how, and that's what we need to do. We need to work towards that goal.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, I just read off the schedule. It's like different days and different times. You know, if you can't go this day because of this time you have to work, well, there's something that fits everybody's schedule there. It's almost like you can't miss it. Right. In fact, we hope that you don't. You don't want to miss this production. We worked hard to get it done. It is different times and different days.
And if you like it, come back again.
That's right, that's right. And tell your friends. I actually think the cost is $10 a ticket to get in there.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what the cost is.
I'm pretty sure it's $10.
Yeah, it's reasonable.
Yeah, very reasonable. And for way cheaper than the price of a movie ticket nowadays. I don't know about you guys, but I went out there, it cost me $45. That was just for me, the popcorn and all of that there, the tickets and everything else. But this show is one that you don't want to miss. We're talking African American history as well, American history in general. And you know, the whole fabric of life in America from the 1900s on up until today. Yes, we have come a long way. Yes, we do have a long way to go. And theater, in my mind, is one way to bridge that and get it and make this happen. So I want to thank you guys again, Jeff and Al, for coming on the show. Hopefully next time we can get the other members of the cast on. The other ensembles are the Jewish?
So we've got three different groups. We have immigrants, or mostly Jewish immigrants, and Haitians, and then Italians. We focus on three specific areas. So the Jewish immigrants are really representing Eastern European, and then of course the Italians are Italians, and then the Haitian community. So we have three distinct groups of immigrants that come over, and then we have the Harlem group, which you're part of the Harlem group, and then we have the white, waspy, New Rochelle, New York, folks, and then those three distinct groups really they come together. In the opening scene, it's fascinating because we have them all coming and then they meet, and then the central characters are actually right in front of each other, and so everybody's like, oh, well, one of the black guys goes, oh wait, we got to get them back into the black community, and then one of the immigrants say, oh wait, you come back to our area. We can't talk to the blacks. We can't talk to the whites, and it's nothing like that. Ultimately, we all learn to work together to live in harmony and peace. And
but of course, in theater you have to have conflict. So
yeah, we got to have conflict.
That sense of community erodes quickly.
Yes, it does.
And then there's a lot of exciting drama in the second half of the show that.
And it's a love story, so nothing better than a love story in my mind. And also, there's a lot of different languages in this production.
There are. You guys have had to learn a lot of languages.
Yeah, German and French Creole, and
yep.
It just covers the whole
Irish
gamut.
accents, a lot of accents. Yeah.
And there's sports in here, to play ball, baseball, and so it's covering a lot of bases. I am extremely proud to be a member of this cast. If I had to debut singing anywhere, I guess it wouldn't get any better than Ragtime, the musical. Yeah. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You have the schedules, the times, you have the place. You know why. Again, we certainly appreciate all the businesses out there supporting this cast. You can put your flyer or your business card in the program for nominal fee. Everything is relevant, and it goes towards helping to keep our kids off the streets and into theater and producing great plays like this great performance. Jeff talked about a lot of other venues and theaters out there that's supporting our youth in plays and keeping them off the street. So we do want to thank you guys. What projects do you have coming up next, if any?
For me, to be totally honest, this was such a departure from what I've been doing. So I don't know. I don't know what the future is going to bring, but I will say I'm having a blast in the cast of Ragtime. So as opportunities, make themselves available, whether it's at the Drama League or one of the other arts organizations, I definitely think I'm going to jump on it.
Brilliant. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that.
What about you, Jeff? Have you looked past this
Oh, sure.
production
Yeah.
yet?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I started an organization about 5 years ago. It's a nonprofit organization called Delaware All-State Theater. So we pull the best of the best student talent each year, and it's kind of like the state championships of theater in Delaware. And we put on a huge professional big musical. So I leave, once I'm done Ragtime, I'm head first into the Delaware All-State Theater production, whatever it is. I haven't announced it yet because I don't even know what it's going to be.
I know that's right.
Got to work on that
I
next.
thought you were going to say you're going out to California with your brother.
No,
on the big screen.
No,
he's staying in Wilmington.
I stay in Wilmington because
Yeah.
I'm a believer that the Wilmington is
right
where
here in
it's all
Wilmington.
about.
Well, that's good because I tell you, your talent, it doesn't get any better than the talent that we have right here in Wilmington.
I agree.
Not only are we a theater mecca of sorts, you know, we're also big in sports here. I know boxing for one. A lot of boxers are local out here, and a lot of producers have moved here in Delaware. Not only Wilmington, but Delaware. So we do appreciate the talent and the love that we have expressed here. And again, we got to emphasize in getting our youth out there involved in these opportunities for sure. But so I, for one, I got bit by the bug, so I'm going to stick with it as well. And I'm looking forward to the next one, but I got to get through this one. You have the dates and the times. The sponsorships information is right up on the screen. And right now I want to thank Mr. Brittingham for allowing us to come on the show.
Absolutely.
We want to make sure you guys stay tuned and welcome back to the show next month, the first Sunday of the month. I hope everything's all right with Mr. Brittingham, and maybe next time we have other cast members of the show come on and speak. It's particularly from the immigrants. They're the ones that has me all hyped up, to tell you the truth. But with that, I'm gonna say thanks, and we're gonna close the show, and then we'll see you next time on Brittingham and Friends, the first Sunday of every month.
Thanks, Linwood.